Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love college football as much as I do. And I'm going to keep making this video because I can. It's about this topic. Who is under more pressure to win in 2024? Billy Napier or Ryan Day? Let's talk briefly about both teams, both programs, both coaches, and their situations. Obviously, Florida, they've had 3 losing seasons in a row. All right? They had one in 22, 21, 22, and 23. Heck, last year they didn't even make a bowl game. Now I know Len Napier was not the head coach in 2022, but still, he's been having losing seasons since then, so that doesn't help his case at Florida. He's under a lot of pressure at Florida. They expect to win more than just compete. They expect to win. They expect to beat Kentucky, teams like Kentucky, teams like Tennessee, and even teams like Utah, who are good teams, but Florida should be able to beat these teams on a regular basis. They haven't been doing it. They have not been competitive with Georgia, and lately they have not been competitive with Florida State. Now, game-wise, they've been competitive, but they haven't been beating FSU. So that's been a problem for Billy Napier. He has lost to Tennessee. That's a problem. So he is under a lot of pressure, and it's pretty obvious if he cannot win in 2024, despite the rough schedule, oh well, he's out of here. And I'm willing to bet if he can't win most of his games halfway through the year, he will be fired. Because the other half of that schedule is brutal. I'm not going to talk about it. Now, Ryan Day, on the other hand, on the opposite, he has been winning, but anytime he's been in a big game, he fails. Michigan, 3 times in a row. I know they've had the cheating scandal, and I completely understand the first 2 years. Harbaugh has coached. He's been there. It's not fair. Okay, this past year, he didn't even coach the game. So there's no excuse for that. Should have won. He has not won a national championship. In my opinion, this makes it more disappointing and more pressure under, more of a fire under Coach Day's rear end than it does Napier. Because at Florida, they haven't been winning anyway. So if he were to get fired, it wouldn't be a big surprise. It'd be disappointing, but not a big surprise. Ryan Day, he needs to win because Ohio State has recruited at the cream of the crop better than most teams, including Michigan, who they have not beaten in the last 3 years. He has not won the Big Ten in the past 3 years. Michigan has. He has not won a national championship since he's been there since 2019. Michigan has. And they've had a lot of problems. They've been called a lot of names, most notably soft. Do I think Ohio State's soft? Absolutely not. And I'm a Michigan fan. Here's my jersey to back it up. I don't think they're soft. Of course they're a good football team. But they have not been the best. He's been under a lot of heat because he can't win the big ones. So I know he brought in Coach Kelly from UCLA. They call the plays. And he's had a great transfer portal recruiting class in general. If this man can't win it all this year, or at least beat Michigan, you best believe he could be out of a job. And he probably should be, because he's been recruiting at the top for a long time. He's been able to hit the transfer portal. He's brought in a great defensive coordinator from Oklahoma State in Jim Knowles, and he still can't beat Michigan. He still cannot win his division. He still can't make the playoff and win a playoff game when he should be able to win. He still can't win the national championship. So in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. Ryan Day is in the hot seat and has more pressure than Billy Napier does, only because Ohio State has recruited and has been able to win much more than Florida has. So not a shot at Florida, but that's just what it is. So in my opinion, Ryan Day can't beat Michigan. That means I could see him losing to Oregon, maybe Penn State, those teams. But if he can't beat Michigan, oh my goodness, 4 years in a row, time to go.